Alright lads, so this is going to be a negative video. I don't like making too many negative videos. Personally, it kind of just puts me off the game. That's why I don't always talk about all the most important drama. That's why I don't always talk about drama and stuff like that. But in this case, we have two big issues that we just need to address. And I want to make sure that I spread it to those that aren't aware of the current situations. So the first thing we're talking about today is going to be the Kisuke compensation, right? They mentioned it like 2 weeks ago that they were going to think about some compensation. Now they've officially announced the compensation, and a lot of players aren't happy with how they're treating it. The second part of the video is going to be talking about epic raids and how they've also responded to that. I know the last couple of days people have been talking about the epic raid situation. I was more so waiting for a response by Caleb. We finally got the response, and it is not good. It's basically the exact same when they responded to the resurrection situation. They basically said, we can't tell you why, but that's just how we're doing it. So it kind of does suck. This is actually not good whatsoever. And I'm hoping that we all continue to complain and make a change. Because right now, it's a yikes. So for the first part of the video, it's the Kisuke situation. So if you currently don't know, when Kisuke dropped 2 weeks ago, he was broken. He was beyond broken. Hence the title of the video that I did post 2 weeks ago. That got over 40,000 views. That's important. I'll talk about that in a minute. So Kisuke came out and he had a secret skill. A skill that he wasn't supposed to have. And that essentially allowed him to guarantee inflict status ailment when he does get his spiritual pressure boost. So as you can see here, triggering the status ailment boost plus 80% skill also increased Kisuke's chance of inflicting a status ailment. And this pretty much allowed him to guarantee inflicting a status ailment. And this was broken, right? It's something that should never happen in the game. They're actually compensating everyone by giving them 25 orbs because it broke the balance for the game for the time being. But what they've also gone ahead and done is compensated a small select portion of players that were lucky that they did the following thing. So all spirit orbs used in the affected summons after using the test play function will be refunded as free spirit orbs. And this is the controversial part, because for starters, who uses test play? It's like, bro, the test play function's so useless, right? So I know after seeing this, everyone's seeing now that a small selection of players are getting refunded because they pressed the test play function. But then there are lots of players out there that aren't getting, they're getting niche. They're getting nothing because they didn't press test play. And this is the problem when it comes to refunding a small selection of players. That's the problem I have with this. Quite frankly, I feel like what Caleb should have done is not refunded anyone and just gave everyone like 500 orbs and called it a day. Because at that point, you wouldn't have anyone complaining. Because the reason why people are complaining now is because some players, or majority of the players, are getting left out on compensation they feel like they deserve to a certain extent. And at the same time, the problem with this, right? I can see why Caleb have done this. I can see why they're making it so you have to press the test play function to get your orbs refunded. Because one, this shows that Caleb know for certain that you kind of came across the bug while test playing the character. Therefore, you had an expectation when test playing him to then summon, and then you didn't exactly get the character you summoned for, if that kind of makes sense. Because the big thing about this is that the skill Kisuke got, the increased chance to inflict a status ailment when he does have the 80% spiritual pressure boost, it was never stated anywhere. It'd be one thing if the game said it in game, like in the news part or on the banner, and then he didn't have it. That'd be a big different situation. The reason why they aren't refunding everyone, and the reason why I thought they wasn't going to refund anyone, is because it was never really stated that you actually had that skill. And that's why they're making it so to get the refund, you have had to had test played the character beforehand, if that kind of makes sense. At the same time, you could also maybe say it's scummy, and they're doing it for a reason to refund the smallest amount of players possible. But at the same time, I can understand why you might feel cheated out of a compensation or a refund, because most people that summoned for the character didn't test play but was expecting a Kisuke that can guarantee to inflict paralysis. And maybe I'm to blame to a certain extent. I did actually post that video like 40 minutes, maybe an hour after the banner did go live. It's calling it Beyond Broken Kisuke. I knew it was a bug, but nowhere in that video do I say it's a bug. So maybe that's on me, but that video itself did get 40,000 views. 40,000 views, lads, on like a 40-second clip. That clip was shared around through multiple communities in different languages, and people saw that and probably thought that was the real case of what Kisuke was supposed to be. They summoned, and now they aren't getting refunded because they never pressed the test play function. At the same time, Caleb are kind of assuming here that if you did press the test play function, you came across the bug, because you might have test played the character and didn't even realize the character was bugged, and now you're getting compensated. So that's kind of the problem with this whole specific situation you have to be in, that players that didn't even know the character was bugged or didn't even realize the character was supposed to guaranteeing to inflict paralysis when he does get a boost, they might not even came across that, but now they're getting a full refund. And for those players that did summon with the idea that he was supposed to guarantee inflict paralysis, now aren't getting refunded. So it's kind of a terrible situation that we are currently in. Again, as I mentioned, the best thing they could have done here, instead of dividing the community for the most part, is one, refund everyone. That's always the best way. Whenever you're refunding on a banner, best thing to do, lads, is to refund everyone. The best thing to do here is to refund everyone to show good faith, especially now, especially with like the epic raid situation, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Players are upset, they're fed up, and this is a good way to show good faith. They keep your players happy, especially when you're shafting us in other different areas. So I think they dropped the ball here. They should have refunded everyone or refund no one and give everyone again like 500 orbs. Similar to what other games have done in the past. I know for a fact there's been a situation where Grand Cross, Dokkan Battle, I'm not sure if One Piece did it, but I know Naruto Blazing did it, where there was an error in the banner, they had to refund everyone, but they didn't refund anyone. Instead, they just gave everyone a large amount of currency, right? So in Dokkan, I think it was 300 stones for the Kefla situation. On one of the most recent banners on Grand Cross, they gave everyone 300 diamonds, and then for Blazing, back on the Pain banner a few years ago, they gave everyone 500 pearls. Even if you didn't even summon on the banner, you got that compensation, and that's what I really feel like Caleb should have done here, because no one would have complained. No one was even like really begging for compensation. There was a few players that were maybe asking for it, but now that they see that a small amount of players are getting the compensation, some unjustly kind of, it's just a very bad situation. And again, I feel like Caleb dropped the ball here. A lot of people are complaining in the comments right now in the Discord and stuff like that, and that's why I kind of recommend you lads to go to, is join the Discord, go to the other feedback and leave your complaint to make sure they do know it, and hopefully they do kind of change the way they are compensating some players, because I would love to get my 4,000 orbs back. Not gonna lie. Do I deserve it? Not really, because I did summon with the idea that the character was exactly how he was supposed to be. I didn't summon with the idea that he was supposed to guarantee inflict paralysis, so I'm fine with not getting a refund. But I'll be truthful, you lads, I'll be lying if I said I'm not salty for those that actually are getting a refund, because all I had to do was just press test play, and then I would have got all my orbs back. That said, though, I do also want to mention one thing, and shout out to Synoxia, and I think Small Man Dingus, Small Man Big Dingus, I think is on Reddit. He also brought to the attention that, he also brought it to a lot of people's attention, is that technically they should be refunding everyone, because on their YouTube channel, where they actually showcase the character, it showcases that he does guarantee inflict paralysis when he does get the boost. So technically, lads, everyone is warranted a free refund, technically, because as far as their official accounts go, they have showed, and they showcased before the character came out, that this character was supposed to be like that. He wasn't like that, so technically we are warranted a refund, if that kind of makes sense. So again, when it comes to refunds like this, the situation's always sticky. It's always good and bad for some type of players, and people are always going to be unhappy, especially in a situation like this where you are potentially losing out on a couple thousand orbs that other players are getting back when they probably didn't even know the character was bugged in the first place. So I'm really hoping here that Caleb can show good faith to our community and actually listen to the complaints and probably just say screw it, give everyone a free refund. That would be great, and that would make people really, really happy. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but if it does, it's going to be a glorious day. At the same time, they do mention other ways to get refunds on some of the materials that you might spend on the character. Maybe you spent sources. In that case, you would have to actually read, like it says, if you want to request a refund, please contact the link or their email, right? So contact them saying you want to get like your special resources back, and they'll probably sort that eventually, if ever, because I'm not even sure if they did that for the Urdu compensation they did like last year. So that's basically the situation with the refund and stuff like that. Let me know what you lads think about this. Let me actually know if you actually did test play before doing your summons. If you did, you lucked out. You lucked out because you're getting all your odds back, so I'm jealous of you. That said, though, now let's talk about epic raids. If you click on Epic Raids, as you can see, Epic Raids is currently unavailable. And this is the problem that a lot of people have once more, because it sucks that they're now giving us less content, for starters, because we now have 2 weeks of nothing, no epic raids, and epic raids have now been actually worth farming. And now with this whole change that everyone has been praising, epic raid update that we did get the last 2 weeks, there was no negatives until now. And this really, really does suck, and especially because they lied to us once more. They keep doing this. I'm not sure why. Whoever's running the Discord, whoever's posting these in the Discord, keeps lying. And I want to make sure you lads know it. They're lying. They keep saying stuff that isn't true, and then because it's not in game, they can't compensate you, because like it has nothing to do with like the official announcement in game, and it sucks that they keep doing this. So in this case, second one's not available, so again, Main thing, less content every month. Second main thing is that we're now getting less orbs every single month, which sucks even more because, again, they also nerfed our resurrection orbs. Previously, to the start of this year, we had 2 batches every month, right? So if you had all 6 resurrected characters, you were getting 75 times 6 orbs every single month. It was great for veterans, because most old players didn't have these resurrected characters, but for veterans, it was a good, stable orb count every single month just for being an active veteran, for summoning these characters all those years ago. It was a great addition to the game, everyone was happy, and then sometime later this year, they've made it so it's now only 1 batch every single month. And when we complained, and we still complain to this day, when we complained, they basically said they can't tell us why they've changed it, but that's just how it is now. And it really does suck they give us a response like that, because it makes no sense why they changed it like the way they did. So yeah, now it sucks that they nerfed resurrection orbs. They're also nerfing epic raid orbs, because in the course of 2 months with the old schedule, we would have gotten 600 orbs and 2 5-star tickets. Now with the new schedule, we're getting 300 orbs and 1 5-star ticket. So they've also nerfed the free-to-play orbs even more so than before, and it sucks because normally what Caleb like to do, if you compare our current state right now with the free-to-play orbs that we get every single month compared to like 2 or so years ago, for the most part, it's around the same amount of like orbs, right? It's always the same amount. Whatever Caleb do, whenever they add like a new game mode, they always take the orb count from somewhere else and put it into that game mode. So they always like to give us, for the most part, and it's more so an average here, around 2,000 free-to-play orbs every single month. So I'm kind of curious now, if you're cucking us, if you're taking away 300 orbs every single month, where are those orbs going to come from now? Because they're not come from resurrections. So it's just a weird situation, man. It really does suck, especially this late into the game, where we're like 6 years into this game. You really can't afford to be doing stuff like this, because people are fed up and they're just going to stop playing. Like we don't know how many players that actually don't complain but just stop playing because they just don't. They're not that vocal about it. They're just fed up with the game. So Caleb really should appreciate those that are vocal, because these are the ones that are still playing, that are giving this game chances again and again and again, and Caleb keeps screwing up like this. Now, what I want to do quickly is hop over to Discord to showcase the response that we did get today regarding the complaints that we have been given about the epic raid situation. Alright, so this was posted a couple hours ago on the Discord, where they mentioned again, they addressed the feedback that they did get a couple days ago regarding the epic raid changes. So as they do mention here, it has come to our attention that the September 30th dev comment about epic raids contained an error about a new monthly schedule for normal, awakened, and returning epic raids. So this is what a lot of us had been thinking. You know, when they announced the new epic raid a few weeks ago, right, they said that the Giant Hollow is going to be here for 2 weeks, from the 31st of October to the 14th of November, and then 2 weeks after that we're going to get the Awakened Menos Grande epic raid, which is going to be here from the November 30th to December 14th. So a lot of us are thinking, okay, during those 2-week gaps with no epic raid, there's no way Caleb are going to be that stupid and give us no epic raid for 2 weeks. Why would you give us less content? That just makes no sense, right? So a lot of us thought, okay, because they mentioned here that the new schedule is going to include a revival epic raid and returning and stuff like that, they're going to throw in a rerun epic raid in between. So we're going to get a normal epic raid, a new normal epic raid for 2 weeks, and then after that, we're going to get a rerun normal epic raid for 2 weeks, and then after that, we'll get the awakened epic raid for the new epic raid that came out like a month prior for 2 weeks, and then we'll get the awakened version of the rerun epic raid that they did prior to that a month ago. So that's what they should have done. That's what the schedule was looking like. That's what we all thought, because they mentioned it here again. They basically just said right here, lads, that they lied. And they apologize. And again, they can't compensate anyone because they just said it in the Discord. They didn't say it in game. So this led to a lot of people, like myself, thinking, okay, we're going to get 4 epic raids in the course of 2 months. So it's basically the exact same as what we had, you know, prior to the new schedule change. And it sucks, because the reason for this schedule change is because as they mentioned here, the reason behind the above schedule change was to further address the issue of players finding it hard to recruit enough allies for a full room. We shortened the period that the epic raid is held and made it so multiple epic raids would not run simultaneously. Okay, multiple epic raids running at the same time makes sense, but why are you shortening it? If there's nothing, it makes no sense, right? It's like, if there's no epic raids on for now 2 weeks, why? Why not just have this epic raid go on for a month at the very least? Like, why have it not go on for 2 weeks? It makes no sense. And they do this, right? And they say here, we hope that you can use the time without epic raids as a way to enjoy your other multiplayer content. Fuck off, Caleb. Like, come off, man. Like, no, stop. This is not the way to do it, fam. It's so dumb. If they were to do this, what they should do is cycle some of the content, because I can understand why they want to do this. Have epic raids not available for 2 weeks so you can focus on other parts of the game. That kind of makes sense, right? But the problem is, they haven't addressed the fact they've lowered our orb count, because what they did in the shop, right, is they've doubled all the stuff that you can buy, so essentially you're not missing out on any rewards besides the orbs. That's the only thing in the shop that wasn't doubled. So as long as the orbs were doubled for the most part, I think most people would be okay with the idea that they're kind of doing it like this, but they haven't doubled the orbs. So we're getting less orbs, we're getting the same amount of material every single month, so it's like they purposely just made it so we get less orbs with this new change. Really does suck, and again, hopefully you lads can join with me. Go onto the Discord and make sure you complain about the epic raid still, because hopefully this Kisuke situation doesn't overshadow the epic raid stuff, because this also needs to be addressed further in the future. But that said, lads, that was basically all the controversial topic stuff for the day. The epic raid situation and the Kisuke compensation situation both suck. Hopefully K-Lab can fix this, because I don't think anyone's happy. The only people happy with the news that we got today are the ones that are getting refunded by Kisuke, which I would be too if I was getting refunded, not gonna lie. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later for the post-election banner, because that was announced. So we'll talk about that more so later today. I'll see you guys there. Take care.